Good morning. Welcome to worship with the community of First Unitarian Church of Omaha. Worship can profoundly impact our lives by fostering a deep connection with the divine, promoting spiritual growth, and encouraging a sense of purpose and meaning, ultimately leading to a more fulfilling and balanced existence. My name is Russell, and I will be serving you as your worship associate today. Whether you are attending online or in person, I am glad you have chosen to join us for worship. Special welcome to visitors. Do we have any visitors this morning? Welcome. This congregation is a community of all ages and abilities. It is a community of rainbow and gender and sexual identities. It is a community of diverse and cultural class backgrounds. We draw from many sources of inspiration and share common liberal religious values. Whoever you may be, we welcome you to bring your whole self into this community. If you're joining us online, you can use the comments section to share joys and concerns that will be lifted up in worship. You can say hello to other online attendees, or to share something about how the service connected with you. For those here in person, you're invited after the service to go down to the common room for coffee and conversation. Our speaker today is Shannon Gorres. Shannon lives outside of Lawrence, Kansas. She holds a Master in Divinities, Master of Arts. Her Catholic roots led her into progressive Protestantism, then Vedanta Yoga, Buddhism, and Universal Sufism. She was first ordained in the United Church of Christ, and then ordained in the Sufi International. She worked as an interfaith chaplain for 9 years. Last year, she served as the minister at Unitarian Universalist Fellowship at Topeka. Lawrence has been in private practice in spiritual and emotional counseling, where she integrates scientific research on trauma, ancient and emerging spirituality, and holistic wellness. She is certified in mindfulness and embodiment as a Shivanda yoga teacher and as a nature and forest therapy guide. A mother, poet, and queer, she is deeply embracing in the hurting world and mending raptures that deter us from knowing divine love. Our church occupies the traditional tree lands of the Omaha and Oto, Missouri tribal nations, whose sovereignty existed long before the state of Nebraska. We'd also like to express our respect to the Ponca tribe of Nebraska, the Winnebago tribe of Nebraska, and the Santee Sioux tribe of Nebraska, and over 170 other tribes represented within the Omaha area. At First Unitarian Church of Omaha, we invite all to join us to go beyond acknowledgments by educating ourselves and supporting causes, charities, rights of indigenous peoples in the area. I'd like to have Terry Lynn come up and join as our chalice slider this morning. As the chalice is lit, please join us in the chalice lighting words. Spark of spirit cupped in earth's embrace, light of love alive in all creation. As we kindle this flame, we rekindle our connection to the sacred web of life. Thank you, Terry. Today, we celebrate a dream awakening. Today, we worship with a renewed hope in our hearts. Today, we act on an audacity of hopes and dreams for the future. Today, we begin the hard work for justice, equality, and compassion in all human relations. For today is a day like no other, and it is ours to shape with a vision and action. Let us worship together and celebrate a dream awakening. Our opening hymn is going to be 389. We're going to do this as a round. Sarah will play it through once. We'll all do it together once through. And then this side will begin. And then this side will join in. We'll see how this goes. William assured me that we could do this. We are starting the second week of our stewardship campaign. Invite Kara Spooner up to deliver an important message about this event. Oh, Walt's going to do it first.
Thank you. My name is Walt Jested. As you know, I'm the guy who talks about money around here. And I just wanted to give you an update of where we are in the campaign, and then we'll turn it over to Kyra. As we are right now, we have about 25% of the pledges that we ought to have, and we're more than 25% of the way through March, so it's a little concerning. So if you have not pledged, please do so. There'll be a pledge table downstairs in the common room. We have forms. You can pledge there. We just came through a capital campaign where we were very successful and did not have everybody pledging. We told everybody that if you can only pledge to one thing, pledge to the stewardship campaign, the operating money, to actually fund the programs in the building. But for the stewardship campaign, we really need 100% participation if we can get it. We need everybody to do their bit in terms of funding our programs. So if you haven't pledged, please do so soon. Thank you. And let me introduce Kyra now.
Yeah, they know that I don't know all the details about the stewardship campaign, so they had to bring the expert up first. And I'm basically just up here to, I guess, tell my Unitarian story and talk about what the church means to me. So I had prepared a little bit last night and, wrote some things down and then left that at home, so I was scribbling like mad in my pew trying to recreate, and but I'm gonna kind of wing it, so bear with me here. I've been coming to this church for a little over 2 years now. I first attended a service here back in November of 2022. Reverend Sherry was preaching a sermon about knowing that day, and I remember it really resonating with me. And then I joined the church in February 2023. So very shortly after the first day attending a service. I am personally a deconverted Christian, and my partner Jay had found this place randomly online. So for the first decade of our relationship, we gleefully, and I'll speak for myself, almost maniacally enjoyed sleeping in on Sundays. We don't have to go to church anymore, we're gonna sleep in. But so when he found this, I approached it with a little bit of trepidation, but we did some research, we read all about it, the 7 principles, everything on the First U website, and we were really intrigued and wanted to know more, so we got on YouTube and started watching videos about Unitarian Universalism, and we were more intrigued, and it sounded like a group of people and a system of belief that we could definitely get behind, that was all-inclusive. So we kept going, and here we are today. I actually met some of my favorite people, like that very first day that I came to this church. Fiber Arts Night happened to be right after that, and also through my Pathways to Membership class. I attended the Cups White Elephant event later that same year in December for Yule. That's the pagan group here. And I felt, for the first time in my adult life, kind of empowered to explore my spirituality, whatever that meant to me, and to name it. I stand before you today, I am a pagan. I am a Unitarian Universalist, and that felt really powerful for me. But another really cool thing that happened is some of the most beautiful souls I've met in this church call themselves Christians. So that was kind of redeemed for me as well, in a place that, accepts everybody. So what I love about this church, I love almost everything about this church. I guess, like, coming here, it was sort of what I always thought church was supposed to be, but never quite was. That whole come as you are mentality, we really mean it here. We want everyone to come as you are, feel completely comfortable. And it's really given me a sense of community with other people who that's what they're searching for as well. People here they're not trying to save your soul, they don't need your money, although I guess I should say they appreciate your money since I'm up here for the stewardship campaign. But they want to know you, and they want to be known by you and to share stories. So this has been a place of learning for me, it's been a place of healing for me. I love that we honor the fact that we are here on indigenous land. I love that half of the loose change in the offering plate goes to some nonprofit who's different every month that is just seeking to help people. yeah, so I think it's a beautiful place, and I'm really grateful for this place and for these people. So if my speech motivates you to donate to the stewardship campaign in this beautiful place, then that's wonderful. But if you're new and or you don't have a dime to donate, I hope it at least motivates you to stick around and talk to people, come to coffee hour afterwards, and come back next week. So.
Thank you, Kira. We also have some other announcements this morning. It is a morning of announcements. As we continue work on our nursery, this morning they need some help moving things and cleaning things. Shouldn't be a lot of work, many hands make light work. Also, several of the Vote folks will have a table in the common room today during coffee hour. Take a look, they've got banners, they've got signs. Welcome you to chat about the upcoming legislation in Nebraska that may affect UU values. And additionally, we can chat about how to get involved and have your voice heard by our elected officials. To find out what else is happening this week, you can scan the QR code or take a printed e-news in the foyer. I don't believe there are any printed e-news up there. Each week, we share our blessings with others through a community offering. Half the loose currency in the offering plate is donated to a local cause, which resonates with UU values. If you are online or prefer to give via smartphone, you can use the QR code or link provided. Our Share the Plate recipient for the month of March is Nebraska Monarchs. This morning we are going to do something a little different from what you're used to. Robert Giddens will speak to you about the work of Nebraska Monarchs while we are collecting our offering. Robert, you want to come on up?
Hello, everyone. My name is Bob Gittens. I am the founder and president of Nebraska Monarchs, and I am very happy to be here and thankful to be here today. So, before I tell you a little bit about our organization, thank you to the generosity of this community. It means so much to our organization. So I wanted to make sure I said that before I share a little bit more about our organization. So our mission at Nebraska Monarchs is to educate and provide resources to the community about native plants and how they impact pollinators. So that is our core mission. And how we achieve that is by getting out into the community and offering workshops such as our Plant One, Take One events. We do 2 to 3 of those a year. We also do an event called Native Plants for Shared Spaces, where we give native plants to any public business, churches, schools that have public spaces that want to create a pollinator garden. So we'll give plants to those groups so they can put it in on their property. And then our large event that we do each May happens at South High School this year. It's where we give 250 pre-designed native plant gardens to the community, no cost. And we also have an expo with about 20 to 25 expert groups at the high school. Last year we had about 500 people that came out to participate. So we welcome you this year. It's Saturday, May 17th to come. The first 250 households get a garden. So I'll just tell a little story about how I got started on this journey, if you don't mind. About 12 years ago, after my father had passed away, I wanted to really memorialize him. And he was a man who loved nature. And he passed that love on to myself and both my sisters. So the way that I decided I would honor him was by putting a butterfly garden in. So I just went to the closest Home Depot Lowe's store near me and looked for plants that said they attracted bees and butterflies. And that's about all I knew that's all I knew I had to do to get pollinators into my yard. So I would go out and I planted everything. It turned out beautiful, beautiful garden. And I would go out each day and check. And as the days turned into weeks, through the months into the end of the summer, I could count on both hands how many butterflies I actually saw come to the garden. And that right there was a moment where I must have done something wrong. This garden isn't working. And I wanted my father to be proud of it. So I went and started reading books and researching online to figure out why are butterflies not coming to my garden. And I learned that without the right native plants, then we're not going to attract the butterflies. I learned that native plants, they feed the babies of the butterflies, the caterpillars. And I learned that if we don't have those plants in our gardens, we will not have the pollinators. And then that started a learning journey about the pollinators really do impact the ecosystem, from the birds that eat the caterpillars and feed them to their babies and on to all other wildlife. So that was a 6-7 month journey of reading all winter long. And then that next spring, I started buying native plants, and it was very successful right off the bat. And I decided to start sharing with friends and family the abundance of my garden, and it turned in 12 years later into giving away 250 gardens to the community. It's not me, though, that does that. We have an all volunteer. Everything is all volunteer on our nonprofit. So every dollar that comes into our organization goes back into the community, and our volunteers are amazing, and we love what we do. And we hope that each of you come out to South High School on May 17th and come and get a garden for yourself. Or even if the church would like to do a shared spaces, we start taking applications for that on April 1st on our website. So I invite the church to do that as well. So thank you so much. I appreciate you all for having us here today. And we do have a little table down in the coffee hour. If you want to stop by and get some more information, we'll be happy to chat with you. Thank you. Thank you.
Let us share joys and concerns. Those online can put items to be shared in the comment area. Colin, do you have anything? Do we have anything in the book in the back? Oh, perfect.
Several birthday wishes going out to Harriet Major, who turns 102 a day. Donna Neff says, happy birthday to our beloved Harriet Major, 102 a day. She is such a bright light in this world. Can't see who this is from, but it says, happy birthday, Harriet, much done to 104. And from Elaine Wells. And this is an important announcement as well. It concerns a movie showing we had scheduled for next Saturday, which has been postponed. She says, Harriet Major is one of our elders who is featured in the Wisdom of Our Elders project. We have to postpone the presentation until May 3rd. New date, May 3rd. It's not going off on the 29th. It is now May 3rd. So please save the date and let me know whether you prefer to have a potluck lunch or pizza and salad. Dr. Bob Jones will turn 100 years of age on the following Saturday. And he plans to be here along with Harriet and Jamie Alexander. So I hope you will all come and learn more about our eldest and wisest members. And from Bob Bosco, saying there will be a biopsy of a tumor in my kidney this week. Please envision a benign diagnosis. Oh, and from...
On a personal note, I did my first worship service as a worship associate a year ago tomorrow. And on that note, my sister Bonnie Triplett is leading the service this morning at St. John's Episcopal Church in Glenwood, so it's kind of a family gig. We don't work together, but I invite you to rest your eyes and sit comfortably and turn to your innermost being. I will share a prayer before we serve a time of silence for your own inward reflection. I will end the period of silence with the sound of the bell. Spirit of life, we give thanks for this day. We give thanks for the earth, sea, and sky. We are grateful and fortunate for the life and love that we have. Might we be reminded of where we have not been our best selves, where we have missed the mark. We ask for those healing energies be with us and those in need. We pray for the sick and those in pain and hope for their swift recovery. May we find inner and outer peace in our quest for our beloved community. In the name of all that is holy, amen. Now rest for a moment of silent reflection. And now I give you Shannon Gorres.
Yesterday, I found myself in a mystery room of Get Out Omaha. It was a first-time visit to this escape room. If you've never been, you have 60 minutes to figure out clues to numbers and very odd things like crooked paintings and fake doors. And it's a challenge. Has anybody here been to one? Could you raise your hands? So I found this escape room to be somewhat like a dream, a bit mysterious, with clues and keys pointing toward an end goal that I didn't even know what it was. And today I want to share about dreams because we are living in tumultuous times. I don't know what is guiding you through the poly crisis we're in. Maybe it's friends, maybe it's faith, maybe it's foundational values that continue to steer you. Dreams, too, can be part of our guidance process. And I'm going to start with 4 short stories about how dreams can guide us, teach us, heal us, and free us. We'll look at the human family photo album, taking mini snapshots of someone from the 1300s, 1800s, 1900s, and today. These 4 humans were extremely dedicated to serving others and made profound gains for the health and liberation of the global community. And what did they have in common? They didn't credit themselves for their direction towards justice. They didn't claim their own intelligence or cleverness led them to their actions. It was in their dreams that they found the route to mind-blowing success for our world. The first story is about the 5 feuding Native American nations. Using the name Haudenosaunee, which means people who build a house, it refers to the alliance amongst 5 nations that later added a 6th one. This has also been referred to as the Iroquois Confederacy, from which Ben Franklin drew or stole concepts for the USA democracy. And I'm going to read a bit of the story from the Oneida Nation website about the peacemaker. At one time, the Haudenosaunee people were in mixed emotions with each other. During this time, a lot of people started to feud with each other violently. It was getting so bad that the Creator noticed and felt he needed to send a message to the people of what their duties were on Mother Earth. He sent the message through a man named Two Rows of Teeth, otherwise known as the Peacemaker. And the Peacemaker received the Creator's message through a dream. The Creator told him to spread the word of peace amongst the nations of the Haudenosaunee people. The Peacemaker decided to start in the east and head west, and he met another man named Hiawatha, a Seneca man who was married into the Mohawk people. Hiawatha was mourning the loss of his wife and 3 daughters. He was very sick in his heart and sad. When the Peacemaker told him the message he had received from the Creator in his dream, Hiawatha accepted it and offered to help spread this message. They went on their way and they took the message to the Mohawk village. The Mohawks were hesitant to take the message of peace, but they agreed. Then the Peacemaker and Hiawatha went to the Oneida village. They accepted the message. They went to the Onondaga people. And then they said, if you can convince the most wicked man, Tadadaho, we will believe. So the 2 men tried and tried, but could not succeed. So they left the Onondagas and they moved on to the Cayuga village. The Cayuga people accepted the message. So are you counting with me? How many nations do we have now agreeing to peace? And the 2 men went back to the Onondaga people, the last nation. And they said again, if you can convince Tadadaho, there could be peace. So they tried their hardest and finally reached to them beyond Tadadaho's powers. They challenged them, and they helped Tadadaho clear his mind and help him see straight. And then the rest of the Onondaga people could accept the great law of peace sent by the Creator through a dream. Our next story is about Harriet Tubman, born Araminta Ross in 1822 in Maryland. Miss Tubman was one of the most famous conductors on the Underground Railroad, an abolitionist, suffragist, activist, served in the Civil War as a nurse, cook, scout, and spy. I think I'm tired as a mother. Whew. So, the National Archives of African American Heritage say that Tubman was arguably the most successful individual who personally led enslaved people to freedom through her service on the Underground Railroad. During the Civil War, she was given the nickname Moses. She was the only woman to lead a military action during the war when she led Black troops in the Combahee River Raid on June 2nd of 1863. With her leadership, 750 enslaved people were liberated. Robert Moss, the author of The Secret History of Dreaming, shares this about her. Harriet Tubman is an exemplar of how dreaming can contribute to the liberation of people and liberating communities from unjust order. She used dreams and visions of maps to get parties of fugitive slaves across otherwise unknown terrain, even across a flooded river. I tell the story of Harriet Tubman as a dream tracker. Harriet said she inherited special gifts, including the ability to travel outside the body and visit the future, from her father, who could always predict the future. She spent a lot of time with him, Ben Ross, in the timber gangs. In these quiet times in the woods, they may have received the atmosphere of the sacred forest of the Ashanti. It's the practice of the West African dream trackers. Our third story is about a prodigy from India, Srinivasa Ramanujan. Born in 1887, died in 1920. Robert Knigle wrote his autobiography, The Man Who Knew Infinity, the life of a genius, Ramanujan. This is just a little snippet of his story per Wikipedia. Ramanujan initially developed his own mathematical research in isolation. In 1913, he began a postal correspondence with an English mathematician, G.H. Hardy, at the University of Cambridge. Recognizing Ramanujan's work as extraordinary, Hardy arranged for him to travel to Cambridge. In his notes, Hardy commented that Ramanujan had produced groundbreaking new theorems, including ones that would defeat him completely. He said, "I had never seen anything like them before," and some recently proven highly advanced results. Many were completely novel. Ramanujan's original and unconventional results are called the Ramanujan prime, the Ramanujan theta function, and he opened up entirely new areas of work and a vast amount of new research in the field of mathematics. Ramanujan credited his acumen to his Hindu family goddess, the goddess Mahalakshmi of Namakkal. He looked to her for inspiration, and he said he dreamed of her consort Narashima and had visions of scrolls of complex mathematical content that would unfold before his eyes. He often said, "An equation for me has no meaning unless it expresses a thought of God." And a side note, I think he would have loved First Unitarian, because Hardy cites that Ramanujan said all religions seemed equally true to him. And speaking of Unitarian Universalists, we come to our fourth story today. It comes from Donna Thompson, who is living in New Mexico right now. Donna was raised in the Unitarian Church and says she's always remembered her Sunday school material. We have any Sunday school teachers out there? Can I get a hand? Thank you. Thank you. At the age of 8, she had read about the Buddha, Egyptian pharaohs, and Hindu deities. She states, "I've always been grateful for the early opening into other ways of seeing the world and to expanded consciousness." A few decades ago, Donna had a dream. She woke up from the dream, remembering nothing but these words: "The fundamental pattern of life is a diamond." 3 years later, the information for source point therapy began to emerge in a question that her partner Bob Schrei asked. Donna would enter a state of consciousness called the awareness, and Bob was a worker healing people through Rolfing. In these sessions, Bob would ask, "How can I help people better?" And source point therapy began to emerge as Bob continued to ask questions, and Donna, in this waking dream state, would respond. It revealed diamond points, an energy field around the body, as the basis for his healing work. And the source point mandala is a big diamond shape surrounded by a golden oval and rectangle. The intention of source point is to reconnect the individual with the energetic blueprint of health, a matrix of healing energy containing information about order, balance, harmony, and flow that sustains all life. Of course, the mandala has been used in this way for millennia. So now, we've heard these 4 stories of how amazing insights that helped humanity came through dreams. The dream world, a rich field of information for those who connect with it. Some of us, however, don't experience this kind of dreaming. What about those of us who don't get messages from God or Spirit in our dream telling us what to do? What if we don't have clear visions that help us liberate ourselves and others? I wasn't born getting clear instructions that I can remember. I had nightmares. I had recurring dreams with problems I could not solve, like the escape room. I saw beautiful things too that I couldn't interpret or figure out the clues. I sensed weird messages with no arrows pointing the way out. Perhaps some of you identify more with this poem by Naomi Shihab Nye, a Palestinian-American author, who shares, "Sometimes a dream lands so hard, it flattens you. I liked it better before, you moan, waving my dream like a silk handkerchief, light and soundless above my head. It could have been anything, a kite, a bird, a large balloon with 3 passengers. Instead, it landed in your lap. You asked for it. Secretly, you had been reeling it in for months like a trapped fish. Too big for the net. The dream loves you more than you love it, but it wants to stay here forever, cuddling in the bosom of your days." For those who may experience dark violence in their dreams or unsurmountable challenges, how could we approach the dream world to seek guideposts on our paths to freedom? There's ways. That's what I came to share. Dreamwork is about sifting the energy of a dream in the symbology until we find a aha moment that clicks with our waking reality. And from there, we can explore the sense of clarity and find healing to guide us forward. Here are a few approaches to dream work, deciphering your dreams. One way is to imagine that every person in your dream represents an aspect of yourself. So if there's a chase going on, one part of you is chasing another part of you, wanting something. Or one part of you is lighting a fire while another part is swimming. What do those parts need? How are these parts of you in relationship with each other? What are you chasing? What feels hot or cold in your life? This method of dream work is to integrate the different parts of ourselves that might be in tension or conflict. We want the new job, we don't want the new job. And we figure out through the dream symbology how to bring these parts into harmony with each other. Another approach to dream work is to decipher subconscious messages. Sometimes our conscious minds will push away painful thoughts because while we're awake, we cannot deal with them. We are too stressed out. We do not have time. We ignore them and push them away until they show up in our dreams, asking to be addressed. It's similar to working with your childhood wounds. If you had trauma growing up and you push that part of you down, the scared child or the lonely child, and eventually that child wants to come up inside of you and be known. In your dreams, you may reconcile with your core self. A third option is lucid dreaming. This is where you're having a dream and you wake up inside the dream. You're still sleeping, but in the dream you go, oh, this is a dream. And when you wake up, you can begin to control the dream. Instead of being chased, you say, stop, I'm going to Starbucks to get some coffee. Chase over. Anybody here lucid dream, wake up in their dreams? Oh, maybe a dozen of you. So you have the power to change the course of your dream. And if you don't lucid dream, you can learn how to wake up in your dream through some techniques. I also want to share about how dream work can help us uproot our internal biases. I mentioned that subconscious memories and thoughts might come up in our dreams. And I studied this to figure out what my implicit stereotypes are. Stereotypes are associations we have about certain demographics of people, and even if we want to treat everyone fairly and equally or equitably, we may subconsciously still retain old thoughts that were programmed into us about some people being better than other people. And when you dream, you can notice who shows up in your dream to help you dismantle your bias. So, next time you dream, you might notice, what skin color do people have in my dream? What size and shape are they? How do they behave? How is my mind revealing to me the work I have yet to do in this journey of equity? And when we wake up, we can go to work on the parts of us that are subconsciously ableist or racist or sexist or whatever other things still are in the caverns of our minds. Then we can retrain our brain. So lastly, I need to come back to Unitarian Universalism and let you know that there is a particular method and approach to dream work by Reverend Jeremy Taylor, Doctor of Ministry, author and Unitarian Universalist minister. He was the co-founder of the International Association of the Study of Dreams, and he created the Projective Dreamwork method. It's where the dreamer figures out the meaning of a dream within a reflective group. Oops, one second. So a group of people will come together, and one person says, "This is the dream I had last night," tells the story. Everybody in the group takes on that dream as their own and interprets it for themselves. If that were my dream, this is what it would mean for me. These groups are powerful, and I hope some future month when I'm back preaching, I will lead a DreamWork session in the afternoon for anyone interested to bring their dreams and work them together. Reverend Taylor had 10 guiding principles of DreamWork to approach your dreams. He says that all dreams come in the service of healing and wholeness. No dream comes just to tell us what we already know. Only the dreamer can say with certainty what the dream holds. So we don't tell somebody else, your dream means this, your dream means that. You, in your inner wisdom, discover what it's guiding you toward. And the dreamer's aha recognition of unconscious memory is the most reliable touchstone. Also, dreams have more than one meaning. They speak a universal language of metaphor and symbol, and they reflect an inborn creativity and ability to face and solve our life's problems. All dreams reflect society as a whole, as well as the dreamer's relationship to it. This makes me want to ask, for the last 2 months, have you been having some different dreams that might reflect society's issues as a whole? Yes, there might be signs in those dreams for your walk toward healing and justice. And working with dreams regularly can help us improve relationships with friends, lovers, partners, parents, children, and others. And working with dreams in groups helps us build community, intimacy, and support so we can move forward. So if you woke up from a dream about climate change, who would you tell? What would you do? If you woke up from a dream about the need for diversity, equity, inclusion, where would you go? How would you listen for wisdom's guidance for you in that dream? There's a whole other world in our subconscious waiting for your attention, waiting for your courage to look at what's happening during those 7 to 8 to 9 hours of the starlight and moonlight times. And I want to close with an invitation made by Mara Branscombe in her book, Ritual as Remedy, Embodied Practices for Soul Care. Be a midwife to your own becoming. Allow the wild, silky parts of your soul to dance, scream, sing, and cry. Channel the uneasy pieces into sculptures that adorn the earth. Feed the complexities of your mind with simple, universal truths. Light the fires inside your medicine cave. The guides await your return. The guides await your birthing of a self reclaimed. Loon call, wolf howl, eagle soar, cricket song, shooting star, waterfall, bee, rose, snake, fireweed, butterfly, cedar tree, sunflower. This goodness, this beauty, this truth, this is your birthright.
Let's have a big round of applause for Shannon. Please stand if you're able and join us in our closing hymn. Just as long as I have breath, it's number 6 in your gray hymnal. The way is often hard. The path is never clear. The stakes are very high. Take courage, for deep down there is another truth. You are not alone.